Alrighty YouTube, welcome back to Rat 10 and what should hopefully be another really exciting video. Last time I got the front accessories all sorted after that complete custom mess that I had to do to make everything work properly, and I think we're ready to start prepping this thing for an official break-in procedure. In order to do that, I need a few more parts. Starting with what I consider to be the most important part. And because I'm confident we're gonna get there, fenders. There are still a few little things that I need to do before this can go on, and one of them is hiding way in the back down here. One of the main reasons why I need to get in here is to install this little guy. This is the coolant temp sensor from my little gauge kit that I'm running. There's a very teeny port in the side of the block down there. I believe in a actual marine application, there would have been a little ball valve here that you can drain the water out of your block in the wintertime so you don't freeze it and crack it. And it works perfectly for a coolant temp sensor. The other things I gotta do while I'm in here is the steering shaft that I never actually finished installing. Okay, I have decided in just my little bit of organization off camera here, I'm gonna do these inner fenders a little bit of justice, wipe them down, and then spray them semi-gloss black just so it'll look way better once it's all together. Yeah, that is way more presentable than they were. Let's take all this crap and let's turn Rat 10 into a truck. Rat support mounts. Somewhere around there. This is gonna start to look really weird really quick because I've been staring at this truck for the past 10 months with nothing on it. Man, that looks weird in there. Well, if this ain't a weird sight, I don't know what is. This gives you a great first look of how the engine bay is gonna look once it's all together. Oh, wait a second. There was something I wanted to do before I put this side on. That something I'm referring to is on the bottom here, this SPA turbo manifold actually has a port if you want to run an external wastegate. I'm going to be using the built-in one on my turbo, this guy here, so I need to block that off. I apologize, you won't exactly be able to see what I'm looking at down here. 3-bolt flange, it's just a big circle, 3-inch circle. Let me go check. It is indeed a 3-inch circle. Well, the easiest solution I have to that is a piece of flat bar. The inside of this is 3 inches. I will cut a circle out of this and I'll take a bolt template, slap it onto there, and it should be good to go. Providing this actually fits that spot. Oh, perfectly sized. I don't know why that one's so far down, but that is how it is. Good enough for me. Okay, that might have been a little bit excessive. We're gonna have to wait for other things to set, much like the water neck that I haven't installed yet. Thermostat I'm gonna be using is just a basic 195 thermostat, nothing too crazy or special. And the water neck from the 2.5, which apparently isn't in the right spot. Oh, wait a second. Oh, these bolt holes don't even line up. Ugh. I've got this old steel one. Ooh, that'd be a tight reach. I'd have to get a different hose because this doesn't even fit. Or I've got this aluminum one, which points in a nice direction. Housing I took this one off of, which was from the OMC block that's on my floor, had this thermostat in it, which is a 160 degree. That's good to know. So this would work, but it's also the wrong size. I need a different upper hose is what I need. Okay, complete change of plan. I'm really glad I have a dad that got me into the same generation of vehicles as him, because I called him up and he had one of these. This is a water neck from a 3rd gen Camaro with a TPI, tune port fuel injection. It looks like it'll fit real good, stay nice and low profile. I found a proper water neck gasket in my stash to use. Yeah, I can even use my stock hose. I just gotta cut it a little bit short. That's perfect. I decided because I have it, I'm gonna use the 160 thermostat just because I'd like to run a colder thermostat in here anyways. It's only ever gonna be a summer truck, except for maybe this year. If I actually get it on the road, it'll be winter for a little while. I did test this on the bench with a torch, by the way. It opens up just as it should. And I'm gonna go just hit this quick with a wire wheel to get some of this paint off of here. Okay, I might have went a little overboard with it, but I figured I was going at it with the wire wheel and it cleaned up nice enough that why not? And for like one of the first times on this truck, I'm not using any silicone on this. Wow, that couldn't have worked any better. That is perfect. Found a square drive plug to replace that big ugly old sensor that was in the side here. 5/8 nipple that was in my old intake off the 2.5 for this side of the water neck to go into the heater core over here. Get to the lower rad hose. May as well take this fender off too. Yeah, it can be a lot shorter. I could probably get away with cutting this a little shorter, to be honest. That's better. Put these back through the factory clamp they used to be in. And I ran the 3/4 with the lay of the hose this direction specifically so that when it curls over into the rad, it will stay away from my alternator fan, which is awfully close. And this guy will just run right over top of the alternator. Nice and simple. Oh, that might have been just a little short. I think we're okay to fill this with coolant now. Oh, the overflow, of course. Hopefully nothing leaks and we don't make too much of a mess, I say as I dump it everywhere. And yes, because Canada, even though this is a summer truck, we fill it with antifreeze because if it sits outside, it's going to freeze. Filling a coolant system has definitely got to be one of my least favorite tasks. We'll fill that boy to the top of the rad, leave the cap off overnight, top off the overflow reservoir. The advantage of using antifreeze is with the bright green is if it's leaking, you're gonna see it. Okay, now that the cooling system is all taken care of, it's time to put the turbo on permanently. But before I can do that, I finally have to actually true up this other flange. So this can now go on. The flanges are as true as can be. Now, before I can throw the turbo on here, there's a few things I actually have to do to it still. The main thing is the fact that it doesn't have a housing on it. The second thing is the positioning of the oil inlet and return are a little bit off because the turbo is no longer sitting in a straight up configuration. It's more like this. Needed some persuasion. Yeah, of course he walked on me too. There we go. And I can't lie to you, I was honestly gonna make all this from scratch, just with some plates of steel for the flanges, and then tapping it with pipe thread for all the fittings I need. But I caved in, I spent $100 on fittings, and I'll have it all done in about 5 minutes. The way this is gonna work is where the oil pressure tee comes off, put in a -3 AN fitting. -3 seems small, I'm aware of that, but it's the only fitting on the engine I have to work with. Alrighty, we have oil in and oil out. And the last piece of the puzzle here is the compressor housing. Ooh-wee. Also, I learned from a Dodge enthusiast, since this is a turbo basically from a 6.7 Cummins, this ring that I removed is a silencer. I guess this is supposed to hide in here to keep your turbo noises down, and we don't want that. She's gonna chooch now. Oh, I don't know where I want this to point now. See, I would love to have this so the turboner is facing right up, which I could do, but man, I'd need a tight bend off the bottom of that thing. So for ease of install, simple. You can still see it, and then just to the intercooler. Actually, you know what? That's not that bad. Oh, I love it. Pow. Oh, this is the fun part, this giant ass snap ring. Come on, dude, don't do this to me. Fucking snap rings, I love them. Okay. Winning. 2 tries. 2 is all we took. Hopefully you can see that where I installed the oil pressure sensor for my gauge kit. There is a open port, and that's where I'll put my feed line. This little line. Ooh, that's actually a little longer than I was expecting it to be. For the oil return, it's cutting it a little close to the steering shaft down here. Probably should have got a 45 off of that. Somewhere around there. Okay, she's on. All right, with the old turboner on there, I need a way to get the exhaust out of my face and a place for my O2 sensors. All right, with the old turboner on there, I need a way to get the exhaust out of my face and a place for my O2 sensors. So that flange that I took off the back just fits on this nice piece of scrap steel. I can finish that up later. I need this thing to run. I'm gonna drill those holes out and then get ready to weld that pipe up. So I just sized it up quick. It's not gonna point straight, but whatever. It's gotta kind of split the difference between these 2 holes over here. Sure won't be pretty, but it'll at least let me run it. Ugly, but and chuck that guy on the back with the narrow band O2, wide band O2, and my temp sensor. I'm gonna have to spend a whole weekend doing this wiring. Okay, we got coolant, temp, and oil pressure. Those are the 2 important ones to me right now. Plug in the map sensor where it was. Idle air. Meter. Computer intake air. Position. Okay, injectors are plugged in. Okay, let's chuck the old Optima in. This wiring is going to be a mess for a while. Okay, I crawled underneath and filled the transmission up just so there's some fluid in it while it's spinning around. All the sensors, all the wire, I got a tack half-assedly wired up there. And I got my little muffler that I had before to stick on here if it gets too annoying. Gonna go redo the distributor cap. I never did check this when I dropped the distributor back in the second time. Try there. It would help if the distributor's plugged in. That's a little more promising. Come on, man. Ugh, how did this run so well the first time? Yeah, what the f is going on? Alright, I need a second. Alright, I have tried almost everything. It's now the next day. I am not in a very great mood. Checked all my sensors, all my wiring. I've redone the timing about 3 times. Nothing. Dad said maybe the computer shit the bed, so I'm gonna go pull one out of my Jimmy. It's the same computer. Swap the chips and see if that does it. This is the closest it's got right now. And everything's hooked up, as far as I can tell, properly. It's worth a shot. Not confident, but we'll see.
Your food scraps cart.
Okay, we think we got it. We got it to at least fire and idle. I guess we're just gonna send it for the break-in and hope it works. Nothing changed. Sense? No, none. It's supposed to break an engine in properly and keep cranking it. That's close to where we had it around it. Different spark plug wires, maybe? So we're going through changing plugs here. Pop number 4 out, and it looks like the middle bit is actually off sideways. And the other ones weren't very great, and this one's also super black. The rest of them are cleaner. It's rich as all hell. It's running at like 12 to 1, so. All right, let's see if new plugs made a difference. Oh, the injectors are unplugged. Apologies if some of this work isn't getting recorded because we're both pissed off and confused, but we pulled the throttle body off. This is what happened to that gasket I stuck in there. So that's a problem. So now that I am officially a dumbass, new gasket cut out. It took me all of 10 minutes when I could have done this originally. I don't know if it's going to solve the problem, but it's definitely a problem. So boom, new gasket, good to go. I also had a vacuum port on the back of this. That middle one with the rubber plug on it was not plugged before. So all over, just a bad time. Let's see if this does anything better. This fuel injector's not squirting. I don't see anything. See if the injector's fired. then. I just kept advancing the distributor.
You got the lucky chump.
That's where when I did my. I didn't really record or show most of it, but got about 12 hours invested into figuring out why this runs the way it does. I don't have an answer, and at this point I am just kind of defeated. I got nothing, and it is Saturday at 6 p.m. I need to edit a video to get out tomorrow.
Audible may not be able to help you. If you're looking for pretty good, just one thing is Audible's got you covered. On your cars or in your own. This is an ad for ZipRecruiter. Called ZipRecruiter today. You have to go to ZipRecruiter.ca/save. 82% of you will keep and try ZipRecruiter for free. ZipRecruiter.ca/save and those around you. And to help our hot rain on the fly, if you're driving a Ford or the future on a new 2022 at 11 a.m., let's get together for a moment of thought, consideration, and news we are so fortunate to have, lest we forget. Give them something great without breaking the bank from Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Keep now only $3.98. Was modified. Remember, ATB is built to help Albertans, like restaurateurs, the Moz.
We already know how to make money. Not raise our kids, grow our business.
To invest in their tomorrow.
For reference there, when I brought these out, there's a wire under there I cut. Now the specifics are kind of irrelevant, but that wire was this one right here. This teeny wire, it's tan and brown. That is the set timing wire for the computer. That wire is what lets the computer in the truck control the timing as the engine's running. I cut that wire after I went through did the thumb test, set this to about 8-10 degrees advance, and with no computer input, it ran just as you saw. I'll have to ask my dad and see what his input is on that. I know a lot of the The V8 TBIs, they have a little plug up on the firewall somewhere over here, and it's what's known as a set timing wire. And to set your base timing, you unplug that wire, you set your base timing, you plug it back in, and the computer takes control. Based off of what my dad has replied to me with, apparently these 2.5 computers, which is what this is running, use a 90-degree spark reference. Whatever that means, I don't know. It's computer tuning stuff that I am unaware of. So in my head, it makes me think you'd have to have your distributor, 98 degrees advanced, or the other direction, I guess. So without the computer input, it's just running like a base engine, and it does rev up, it idles. It's lazy because it's not getting any more spark advance, but it is running. And I'll take that as a win after the past 2 days. Once my dad left, I sat in that lawn chair for about an hour and a half. That 90-degree reference we can tune out of the computer, hopefully. I'll have to go over the tuning at some point because these TBI computers are messy. At least I could finally get a break in. Hopefully I didn't already ruin my camshaft with all that cranking and half running and heat and then no heat. I guess it's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. I'm a little bit on the depressed side right now after all that. I hope you come back for more. Thanks for watching.